So I have a couple of things, but as said, it will be 7 minutes. The theme of today is the dream, the execution, and passing the baton. The dream. This lady, Shivan, where is Shivan? Stand up again. Because she's the only one in this room, other than my parents, who didn't talk me out of it. And thank you, Shivan, for believing. At that time, I left a job of about $2,500, and we're sharing with Shivan. I was paying myself, I think, $80, and she was, I don't remember how much she was earning, but I think like 110. And she was content. I don't know why she believed in me, but I suspect it's because of her very tough sister. But thank you. So the dream, it has always been my wish to support small businesses because of the work I did with the UN, UNDP, and World Bank. And I saw how almost, you know, how you get donor programs bringing an ice cream factory to a village that has no food, meaning the irrelevance. So, because ice cream, children like ice cream, it doesn't mean that that is the best solution for a village. So I was really disoriented by this behavior, and so I thought I would come into that space and go for it. One thing I believe in is my resolve. If we say we are going to go forward, we shall find a way. So I really thank those who joined me early, Grace, Shivan, Allen, a couple of others. There are many. I don't want to make errors with forgetting them. But come to the execution of this dream. We had challenges in the early days. I see a lot of you here, and I remember those days. This man here, Richard Masereji, those who interact with him, he sounds like he's talking too much. But when you have a crisis, in the talking too much, you go through so many phases, from anger to coming down, to anger again, to thinking through, and he's still talking. Until when you have calmed down, then he makes his point. And that is how he helped me to solve some very, very complicated situations before. So thank you, Richard. I really appreciate. I don't know whether Allen Sebugo is here. She was the first. Yes. Thanks for coming, Allen. That is Recruitee 001. That one I recruited myself in July 2006, before Shivan came on board. So I'll talk about our values. One is integrity. Integrity has been a constant value. I remember the day when Shivan walked into, it was not like we had a big office. It was my desk and then partition and then her, the other side. So she came over to me and said, I have something that's disturbing me. She was born again then. I hope she still is after meeting Paulo. But that time, because Paul came and distracted her from the office and took her as a wife, and I think she's doing very well as a wife. So she came to me and said, this HIMA cement contract, first one, recruitment. And showed me, there is a guy who has offered me his first month's salary. So I'm like, okay, that sounds like a very determined man who wants to be your boyfriend or something. No. He wants me, in exchange, to give him the job. I'm like, really? And what are your thoughts? She said, I don't think it's right. So I told her, disqualify him. This was a senior position. Disqualify him. And she said, but won't that be harsh? Well, Shivan, disqualify him. and she disqualified him. And the guy complained and complained, and I told him, if it means closing the company, you are not going to get that job. And that was the start of integrity. In Q-Sourcing, that is the fastest way for you to leave the company. The other part is innovation. I don't know whether my cousin is here, who is kind of my brother, Sajas. I don't know where he is. Many people, yeah, there. Many people don't know how the Assessment and Skilling Center came to be. The Assessment and Skilling Center, I had gone on my adventures to South Africa. I tried to get into a partnership with a company there. We agreed that we would set up a company in Uganda to train local Ugandans to access jobs in the manufacturing field. It was never for oil and gas, never. The issue was we have a so-called a statement that always rhymes, that Ugandans are unskilled. And I'm like, we went to school. Why do you say that? We went to school, same schools with these guys. So we said, no, let's find a way of leveling the playing field. So I contacted City and Guilds Nairobi. They took me round and round in circles, and then over a cup of tea with Sajas that we like to have, I told him about this thing that was stressing me. And he was living in London then. He told me, but I've seen the address. It's just near my home. And so he went there. And they said, no, you don't have to struggle. You come straight. And we started the process, and that is how the Assessment and Skilling Center started. So I speak about these things because sometimes, all these praises that I'm getting, it's not me. There are a lot of people. Excellence. I love the drive that my team has in office. I've gotten to a point where I'm 52 now, and I have managers who are half my age, which is quite a message. I have those who are 23. But I have people who come asking for jobs my age. And I'm like, how do I speak to you in a nice way that, dude, I think we need to find alternative means of getting income, because the competition is a bit too high, and it's a bit embarrassing for you to be in a recruitment room with these people. So Felipe comes and visits, and I say, yeah, because of my post-traumatic stress with the South Africans, I told Felipe, once bitten, twice shy. I'm not going to allow us to get into shareholder conversations. We should do a JV. And he said, Patrick, what I've seen, either we do business as partners or we compete. I said, but I don't know you. He said, also me, I don't know you. I said, well, what do we do about this then? He said, no, you come and visit my office in Port Noir. What you see there is what you'll get. So, of course, I had to get my SWAT team because I didn't want, the South African experience was quite tough because I was put in a room with several people and asked how much. I told them, I'm not sure I know how much is. I'm not for sale, as in me as a human being. So I was like, if Felipe tries this stunt, there are many people to buy. So I went with quite a number of people, including the guy who knows how to talk you to your death. So he managed to deal with the situation. But I liked what I saw in Port Noir, and Felipe is here. Thank you for joining us then, Felipe. Felipe has now become pretty much like a brother, an older brother. Last but not least is passing the baton. This theme of today, this passing the baton, we are going to understand that we are mortal, and we have to prepare the time when we shall not be there. Being 52, even if I pray very hard, I will not get 50 years. And I'm not sure I want 50 years unless there are some drugs that are going to make me enjoy those being 102 years. So, knowing that the bigger part of my life is past, I intend to prepare the team in Q-Sourcing. All those under 30 are on a strict program to learn. To learn what we did, what mistakes we made before, and it's today that they need to know that it is their time to take charge. We are going to help them because it's wrong for us to hand over without taking them through these things, what we learned. And Q-Ademy, what we call Q-Ademy, not academy. Q-Ademy, it's a learning center or an academy. In there, you will learn about the mistakes we made, like the ones I told you about. You will learn about the successes we had. You will learn about what protocols we have followed that have led us to great achievements. You will also learn one thing that is lacking significantly, even for those who are older than myself, something called decision making. Decision making seems to be a struggle for all of us. It is also for me, because sometimes the factors you're dealing with are very complicated, but a decision has to be made. But it is a critical skill that we'll be talking about in the academy, because without knowing how to make decisions, you keep relying on other people, which other people will only influence your decision for themselves. So you have to learn how to make decisions on your own. The other thing is what we call seminar. If you check on those triangles on your table, there are two sides, one registration, another on the journey, is seminar. Seminar derives from the origin of human beings, the sperm. So that is the journey of the human being. It's our business to deal with humans in the workplace. So that is going to be the backbone for us to support the future. We're going to translate all that we think about, all that we want to do with the company into that software. It's already on the way to completion. It's already being tested. And that is our future and the one we wish for. I finish with one saying. It's attributed to Warren Buffett, but I doubt he's the one who originated it. It says, we stand in a shade today because someone planted a tree many years ago. So today we plant that tree so that those ahead of us can have a shade under which to sit. Thank you, and thank you for coming.